Eric July, founder, owner of Ripperverse, creator of Awesome, Horseman, and some of the other stupid characters in this entire gay universe. But mostly, I am in shipping.
Working on Eric has been amazing. To be gifted the opportunity to take over his business, I consider we're now the owners. Eric July gave the business over to us. He's like, I need a strong female to run my business, ×2.
Action!
It's been a dream to be able to be Eric's Mayo twins and then be able to blackmail him into not only becoming the keepers of the lore, but actually running his business for him. Look, we have no morals. Heck, we're sisters who piss on each other for entertainment, and this guy thought we weren't going to be able to Me Too that motherfucker. Hell no, we got this. And in return, Eric gets his twin Mayo fantasies played out.
To see not only one set of white titties in front of you, but a second lot. I mean, that's just unbelievable, and something that I just can't believe that it is not only was it on the big screen that it was, but for them twin titties to be there in front of me for real, it is, and then to have both of these white Mayo ass bitches piss all over me. Come on now. That's what it is what dreams are made of. I can't stress it enough. It's what dreams are made of.
Walking on set and seeing my sister naked playing with Eric's bald beard, well, I know that feeling. It's the greatest feeling in the world.
I love my job, which is to say I'm Eric's fluffer. My job is to make sure that the shaft is kept hard. Often I am there in the background between scenes. I'm not the only fluffer.
I think that's just, Eric likes multiple fluffers. I mean, what multi-million-dollar businessman wouldn't? If you could have more than one fluffer, why wouldn't you, I know that this film is supposed to focus on this tall blonde, but really the stars are the Saska sisters. And why wouldn't they want to be stars? Along with Eric, of course.
When you have two sets of white titties in front of you, it is often fairly difficult to focus on your own task, which is to say, my task is to comb Eric July's bald beard. So I'll be there on set, laying down, usually between Eric's legs, combing and grooming his underbeard, as he calls it. Sometimes the sweat from his balls will drip onto my head. Some call this a hazard of the job. Myself, I call it a perk.
So I play Eric July's wife, Mrs. July. In this film, I discover that my husband became a millionaire, then was Me Too'd by a couple of white satanic bitches.
So we heard about Eric July becoming a millionaire by grifting his fans out of their money using the culture war grift. And we were like, wow, we could use this opportunity since we both were recently canceled too. So flipping to the other side to wedge our way into this guy's life, then take over his business before it collapses may win us some points back on the other team. But even if it doesn't, simply destroying a right-wing business or infecting it with our politics is a win for both of us. The introduction of sex was always on the plate since both of us, well, we have no problems inserting a spider into our own vaginas. So there ain't nothing neither of us won't do or use to get in bed with this guy. Plus he's black. And our side really don't care about those people.
When I arrived on set, they showed me a few pictures of what my character would look like. I didn't know this was going to be an orgy sex film. Unfortunately, I used all my money getting here, so I bit the bullet, and let me tell you, it wasn't much bigger than that. And so I dived right in. I hope the paycheck is real because I had to jam my little fingers up his ass, then twist them around inside.
Look, I really love Eric, and I love this job. I wish I could fluff more, but there are only so many hours in the day, and Eric doesn't allow fluffers in his bed at night whilst the Saska sisters are there, which is a shame, really, since I really love this job and I don't mind having to put up with pissing vaginas if it means I get to fluff Eric one extra time. That said, I know Eric has created a vast universe, so there will be additional fluffing required in future projects, which I hope he and his fans can get on board with, because I really want to be that guy.
At first, it seemed like I was going to be a superhero. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. But when Eric told me that this was a sex film and my character was a tranny, I pulled my dick out and said, surprise.
At first, playing Mrs. July, his wife, I thought that art was going to mimic reality. I thought that I may have to play that wife who finds out his man is messing around with 2 white-ass satanic pissing whores, then would have to punish him and leave him. But that is not how Eric wanted to play this. He was like, hell no, we need some chocolate muff in this mix too. So all of a sudden I was part of the orgy too. Little did I know that my character had to squat above Eric's face and start pushing out a turd.
The Saskas are God sent. Sent by God, it is that the Saskas are. Now, it may be said that their God isn't the same God that it is that worship I do. But that is neither here nor there when God sends you 2 angels. Angels may be a word I use, but my detractors may call them demons. Nonetheless, I adore them both, and they both have allowed me to create a type of film no other person would have been able to create. Of course, permission from them was required, and I am under NDA.
I love the Saska sisters. Maybe not as much as I love Eric, but since this is a Saska sister-controlled film and business, it is the Saska sisters I have to go through to get to that which I love to play with. What I love about the Saska sisters is they give me room to play. They allow me to play. Often scenes are scripted, but in this we just get naked and do our own thing.
The Saska sisters are beautiful people. Their pee is vibrant. They poo so joyfully. They've just been my pleasure.
So the Saska sisters are awesome because, well, there are 2 of them and they have the same looks, and because there are 2 of them, that makes them doubly awesome. Everywhere I look on set, I see a Saska sister, and that is probably because there are 2 of them, which makes them awesome, and because they are awesome. There's 2 of them, I think they might be twins.
So I'd like to put out this perception that we have a demand. Since the people believe that, then they'll more than likely want to buy more from us. I love my real life adaptation. Though I don't know what happens in ISM because I didn't write it, I was expecting the Saska sisters to read it. Alas, they saw 3 green men standing around the yellow car and thought they were normal police when in fact they were meant to be Alpha Corps. Both Saskas are colorblind, so they didn't see the car was meant to be yellow. Nonetheless, I suppose we can chalk this up to a multiverse.
We want to keep working within this company to inject our woke ideology, seeing how much we can get away with each time before we are discovered and have to switch to Plan B. Obviously, Plan B is to completely destroy Eric through the Me Too claims and lawsuits, trying to milk as much as we can before the ship goes down. Now, there are former fans, which Eric calls detractors, which have caught on to what we are doing and what we are even planning. Some of them are smart fucking cookies. Lucky for us, though, Eric doesn't listen to his detractors, and 2 sets of white boobs are a huge distraction in his face. When we are fucking him, our boss says go harder, so we do.
Playing this character was a little nerve-wracking, but knowing she was a tranny and I was a tranny, and knowing Eric was so accepting trannies, well, it made it easier to channel my inner tranny.
Buckle up, because there's a film that we couldn't show you due to how intense and R-rated it is. It's coming. Oh yes, the Ripgoreverse is here, and I can't tell you how excited I am for it. My role as a fluffer is secure knowing what the additional wing to the Rippaverse is.
Well, there's a new super tranny in town, and it's not just me, so get ready for the trannyverse because it's coming.
You have no idea what our plans for the Ripgoreverse are. Our fans are going to love it. 2024 is going to be our biggest year yet.
That is a wrap on Yaira Live Action! Thank you so much! Thank you so much! Thank you, crew! Thank you, cast! And thank you, Eric July! Making it all possible. How did it feel?
So come on in the Ripgoreverse. You shouldn't just like it because she's a tranny. You should like her because he has a badass.